Welcome to the new sound of online radio. Welcome to the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network. 'Cause you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven. A mix of today's hits and hard-to-find favorites, combined with the most entertaining and intriguing talk anywhere. This is your sound. This is the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network at ubnradio.com.
Hello, everybody. We're here. We do have a show today. Yes. You may not be able to tell because we're late. See my face? This is the face that you have when you take more than enough time to come to It's Time to Talk, because that's the name of the show.
Yes, welcome.
Welcome, and I'm April.
I'm Deidre. Happy Saturday, everybody.
Happy Saturday. This is the face that you have when you take more than enough time to get to the show that starts at 5 normally, but we live in L.A.
Yes.
And we ran into Carmageddon.
Mm-hmm.
The
5 is cut off.
Completely closed. One of the freeways completely closed because they're reconstructing something on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And I ran into a parade. Mind you, Deidre and I took separate routes, but still, we're late.
And there was detours for me, even though they gave us notice, of course, and I left in a good amount of time.
Right.
But still, it's just, you just can't expect anticipate certain type of traffic, when you're in it.
Exactly.
So I was like, oh my gosh. But anyway, we're here.
We're here.
And it's time to talk. And we are so excited. We are so excited. We have a wonderful special guest today.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait.
Yes.
She has such amazing energy,
Doesn't
by the
she?
way.
Yes, she does.
Our guest today is going to be Saundra Saulnier.
Yes.
And she is a fashion designer. She is a holistic coach. She is owner, founder of Style Shift. So she's going to be here today to tell us about how we can change our lives, basically by shifting our style and figuring out who we are through our style.
Wonderful, right?
This lady is so accomplished.
I
I
know.
cannot wait to get her in the studio and talk to her, and that's coming up momentarily.
Yes.
So how's it going besides Carmageddon?
I know, exactly. Just busy. Same thing, running a business, as a lot of people out there may know or don't know, but it's just a lot of work. So I've been so busy with that. And, we have the holidays are coming up. Breast cancer awareness is coming up, so I'm getting ready for that.
Yes, that's October.
That's October. Me being a survivor,
Right.
I'm starting to, restructure my business into, I want to promote that, so where I work and everything.
Because with your business, you sell all natural products.
I sell all natural products, and so all natural deodorant with, just keeping people healthy, and definitely with survivors in mind, of all kinds. And so I really want to push, that awareness, rightfully so.
Because it's so important, and I just don't think that you can talk about it enough.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't too much.
Right.
You really can't, because it's so important that we are aware of the chemicals that we're constantly putting on our bodies and in our bodies.
Right. I was researching, and we put at least over, especially women, we put at least over 500 plus chemicals on our skin. Throughout the years, we're always trying new
Over
products.
500 different types of chemicals?
Different types of chemicals, yes. We're putting creams on us. We're putting, makeup. We're putting all kind of hair products on us. And it's, it just develops. It just goes into our bloodstream, and a lot of things can happen. But the more people, I love it because I'm meeting more people that are aware, that people that are conscious, and, they're making their own products, or they're using coconut oil, which is great. You have vitamin E. You have so many great antioxidant oils that are natural, from plant-based, from fruits, from the earth, and I'm just been on a personal mission to just try to get, the more I get into it, I'm sharing it, and it's like, go back to basics, what our ancestors, used, and
it worked for them.
Off
thousands
the earth.
of years, thousands of years.
I mean, it starts from there anyway, even when chemicals are processed. They start sometimes from a plant base or a fruit.
Medications start from plants.
Right, exactly. But then it's so unfortunately manipulated with the substance of chemicals and things like that that is no longer really good for you at that point by the time it comes out. But yeah, so I'm just gearing up from trying to stay busy getting that all going and getting prepared for that and the holidays that are coming with the work. So I'm busy. I am totally busy.
Great.
And then not to mention with traveling, different things we've been doing and a lot.
Yeah, we are starting to need assistance, right?
Yes. And that's what I was like thinking, I said, I should put out there today, if anyone wants to be my social media guru and post for me at least 3 times a week, I'm going to throw it out there because I haven't even really been on social media like I need to.
Now, are you paying? Because,
Yeah, something, but it's not going to be a lot. I mean, I can't.
All right, then I don't want the job.
I can't get the big brands, but I'm like, something easy. If I could just get 3 posts a week, because I've just been between, it's either like the business or a post, and it's like, I'm so tired. So anyway, but it's just been crazy, but I love it.
But good crazy.
Good
it's
crazy,
exciting.
absolutely.
It's exciting stuff because
I'm just rambling at this point.
No, you're not rambling. You're making a lot of sense because I wanted to kind of go into that because we are going into October,
right?
In the next couple of weeks, and it is important to spread awareness for breast cancer, and it is important that we also talk about what our show is about, which is always talking to people who are using their power for good.
Power for good.
You can use power any kind of way. God gave us free will, and we can use our power to hurt, to kill, to steal. We see what's going on in the media right now, unfortunately, and there's lots of ways that you can use what God gave you, but how are you using it? And our show is to just make people consciously aware of how you're using your power and highlight the people who are using their power for good, because that makes me feel so good.
Right.
And it makes me know that there is still good in the world.
Yes.
There's still good people in this world. And that's what we choose to focus on.
Absolutely. And the more conscious you are and you can spread that, and the more conscious we can all become, we can all live better.
Yes.
All of our lives can matter. All of our lives can be like as one. We can come unity. There's power in numbers and just unification, unified. You know what I mean? So
because we're a part of the human race.
Yeah.
We have different colors. We're diverse, but we're a part of one race, which is the human race.
Exactly.
And if we celebrate our differences, I think we're on the right road. Instead of looking at what's different and making it better or worse than what you think should be, So absolutely. So
I love it. I love what we're doing.
I do too. I love what you're doing with the whole, breast cancer awareness and just building a business around that, helping other people be aware and have better health.
Yes.
I love it.
Thank you.
So proud of you.
Yes. Thank you.
So without further ado, we're going to take a break and we're going to come right back with our wonderful guest today, the founder of Style Shift, and her name is Miss Saundra Saulnier. We'll be right back.
Speak Your Week will guide you through the process of using the power of your thoughts and words to create more positivity and success in your life, day to day and week to week. Written by It's Time to Talk's own host, April Jordan. This dynamic book will remind you of the powerful person you really are and how to use that power to create the life that you want. Want better health, success, abundance, love, and more. Within the chapters, you will discover the kind of thoughts, emotions, and words you should be speaking about the things that matter to you most. Also, included in this book are affirmations to speak each day of the week. When spoken in daily succession, these affirmations gain momentum and can help you on your journey towards the life of your dreams. There's no other way around having the life that you want. It all starts with you. Get ready to speak your week. Available for download at Amazon.com.
For me, style is something that comes from your heart. It's who you are. It's not a disconnect. It's part of you. Style is how you live. It's your aesthetic. It's your belief. And my firm belief is that when you're, getting up in the morning, what are you going to put on to spend, live your whole day in? What clothes are you going to live in? What are you going to feel good in about yourself? It should be comfortable, but it needs to be about you, so that when you look in the mirror, you really, really see yourself. Because it's just not only an extension to the world, but it's about how you feel about you. Fashion is something that's changing. It's a dictate. It's not a constant. It's in, it's out. Style is timeless. My motto is, I love style, I hate fashion. And what I feel for myself is that we need to find our own individual uniform, you know, who we are. And inside all of us, we are a superhero. I'm Zorro. I have been Zorro since I'm 3 years old. I was, you know, innately, I wanted to be him. I was like, I'm so cool, I need to be Zorro. And we all have something inside of us that we need to, you know, be not only for ourselves, but what we're presenting to the world. And there's a really big issue that's going on right now, and it's style shaming. And, you know, it's not okay to fat shame, but now style shaming has become a huge industry. So there's such a negative connotation that's put to clothes. So people are like, oh, you know, I don't want to be, you know, associated with clothing because that's shallow, but it's actually not. And this is what I would like to do, is I would like to change the message about, you know, what clothing is to the world. Now, I don't want to be, you know, an image consultant or a style consultant. I want to have a bigger message for the world that's more on a powerful, like, psychological shift of how we can, you know, incorporate style from the heart and from each one of our hearts, that we all can embody that and feel like really free to go for it and not have to apologize.
Welcome back to It's Time to Talk. Wow, this sounds really weird to me because we are, as you can see, Sans headsets.
Right.
And that is because of our wonderful guest,
Yes.
founder of Style Shift, Saundra Saulnier. Please welcome her to the show.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here.
Oh my gosh.
You guys are awesome.
You're awesome.
you're awesome.
She's
We're
so
so
fabulous. And, you know,
Yes.
we're all about shifting, as Deidre pointed out during the break.
Yes.
What did you say, Deidre?
I was saying, oh, she's already started style shifting, because she came in here, she's like, we don't have to wear headsets. I'm like, I've been not wanting to wear headsets since day one. So now that you come in here, and I'm like, okay, it's on now. So
Dream
she's
come true.
already motivated and created something new.
Yay.
Yes, love it.
Already. So
Hi.
please tell us about Style Shift. I mean, we saw the wonderful video, and you know, I couldn't help but notice that you're really into black and white. Or I don't know if into it explains it, or maybe you can tell me why. Because on your Instagram page, everything is black and white. I created a post for our show. She's in black and white. We were in color. She changed to black and white, which was awesome. So what's that about?
Well, that's part of branding.
Okay.
And that branding comes from, you know, your personal style, you know, how you brand yourself online and offline,
Right.
in every area of your life.
Right.
And I have an affinity to black and white. I've always loved it. I've always been attracted to it. So that is just part of my style. I love colors too.
Yeah.
You know, I'm attracted to certain colors, of course, but, you know, I'm always going to go to the neutrals first,
Okay.
because that's, you know, what my innate style is and what I love. You know, in my home, it's neutrals.
Okay.
And, you know, I've always been attracted to black. And as you could see in my video, you know, my first influence was Zorro. And he was, you know, and I happen to have the black hat on today too. You know, I mean, I don't even think about it. It just kind of happens.
Right.
And, you know, when you're finding that and your authentic style and you're living in it, you know, everything else just falls into place.
Wonderful.
So you say it's how you live. Style is how you live. So maybe you can talk about that a little more.
It's everything. It's how you think. It's how you live. It's, you know, what you wear. It's even how you speak. Everybody has their style of speaking.
Right.
You have your style of exercise.
Right.
You have your style of eating. You know, it's across the board. And, you know, a lot of people, they think, okay, style is just clothing. But it's
Right.
not. It's your complete essence.
That's right.
And when you connect to that, I mean, my thing about Style Shift, it's about living from the inside out,
I love
not the outside in.
Right.
So when you've connected to your inner style inside, and I find that with clothing and image is one of the easiest places to start, because you get tangible results right away,
Right.
right?
Right.
But once you've started in that and you've connected with that, it's like a domino effect. It goes into other areas of your life because you're seeing like, this is my style, this is who I am, and you've done the work. You know, it's not just about changing the clothes, but I always like to go into the why, the why behind the buy.
I love that.
Right?
Why behind the buy?
You know, that is very profound. And what you were saying about how sometimes it starts on the outside, because same thing when you're, especially being women, when you buy certain clothes. Now, you know, as I've gotten older, you know, when I was younger, I could wear anything and like, hey, look good in it, you know,
Yeah.
Now I have to think, there's certain bulges, there's certain things. But if there is something I do want to wear that is form-fitting or whatever, I'm like, you know what? I need to exercise. I need to do what I need to do. So now I'm changing not only my outer appearance. Now I'm going to start thinking about my health. What am I eating? How, you know, I don't want to look bloated, or I don't want to look this way. I want to fit in a certain kind of dress. So then that style starts to shift. So I love that's exactly what you're saying to me. You know, I'm like, that is so true.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I mean, what you're saying too, you know, one thing, you know, that I work with some of my clients transitioning in, you know, different life stages that you go through, and absolutely aging is, you know, a huge one. And we all either, you know, we go through it, and we have our ups and downs with it. And I mean, the big thing is obviously acceptance. That's number one.
Right.
But, you know, we can all, you know, once we get in that style and we understand who we are and what we want and who we want to be, and getting, you know, to our core, our inner core. And like what you were saying about, you know, connecting with the exercising because you want to look more fit. But it's not only for, you know, you're looking more fit for the clothes that you're going to wear, but it's being healthier, like mentally, physically, and spiritually, because holistically, there's no disconnect.
Oh, okay. Right. That's right. It's all combined. That's exactly. It goes hand in hand.
And I don't think a lot of people know that. Like when I saw you online and what you did, it resonated with me, and I just said, wow, this is so unique. I don't know of anyone else personally that's doing that has connected style to shifting who you are. But those are the changes that you make when you start working on yourself, and when you start feeling better about yourself, not just with exercise and health, but just mentally. You think, you know, I prefer that way, or I prefer that. And sometimes, you know, sometimes you can't afford it, but at least you're thinking those thoughts like, I want to look like this now. I want to be this person. And it really, really changes you. It has an effect. And I also say that because, you know, my son is 13, and we'll go to church, and when he puts his Sunday best on, he's a different person. He is not the same kid. He's not fooling around. He's not busybody. He's very calm and collected and very distinguished. GQ. And he's so cute. You know, he's posing for you know, he's doing and I was like, wow, it's amazing, just because he put on a different outfit that now he's this kid.
Exactly.
Yeah, so the same type of thing with everybody.
Absolutely. And I mean, you know, you can use that. Look at actors. You know, they put on different clothing and they get into the part. But, you know, I really believe in finding your uniform because
I love that.
When you find your uniform, I mean, really, we only wear about 10% of what's in our closets anyway, right?
That's true.
We go to the same.
And then, you know, part of the exercise that I go through in one of my programs, Clearing the Clutter, is you go through your loves and your not loves, and you really take a look at, you know, these are the things that I wear all the time. Like, why am I wearing these? Do I need more of these? How do I build on this? What's missing? And getting rid of, you know, am I holding on to this because I think I'm going to fit into this, you know, like 20 years later, you know, I mean, we all, you know, or am I holding on to this because I, you know, like I went on a date with so-and-so when I wore this, so I need to keep it.
I got you the man. So you're like,
you know,
that works.
You know, the memories. Or, you know, are you like holding on to stuff for the future? Oh, you know, like, oh, I bought these shoes because, you know, again, like maybe I'm going to get a guy with these shoes, you know, these Louboutins. And then, you know, they hurt like, you know, hell, and you're never going to wear them. And you're but you're holding on to them for a future you. So it's also about being present and the who that you are now, you know, be here now. And, you know, understanding like getting into, why you're holding on to things. Why aren't you letting things go? Because when you
Right.
start that letting go process, that also opens up for new things to come in.
Yes.
Right.
And then that'll happen, like then you'll take a look at your home. Am I hoarding stuff?
Right.
Like is this my sanctuary? Is this do I love where I live? What do I need to shift in there?
Right.
And then it'll go to food. Am I
Right.
eating healthy? The
Right.
skincare, like what you were mentioning,
Yes,
your
yes, yes.
skincare line. Am I using the right products on my body
Right.
that my body's absorbing? Relationships. Am I holding on to relationships that no
Right.
longer serve me?
That's
Right.
right. That's right.
That's huge.
That's beautiful.
And then, you go into as well, like if you've got items of clothing, like they're broken and, they're missing, you ask, is it worth it to fix it? So you can ask the same thing in relationships as well, right? Is this
Absolutely.
worth it to fix it?
Is it
Wow.
worth it to fix
Wow.
it? Wow.
And that's all being on a conscious level, and it
Yes.
encompasses everything. And I love it because, like April said earlier, it's so unique how you tie that in from fashion, which it makes so much sense because if you're hoarding things and go back to the closet, you can't think straight, And so once you release that's why they say donate or give away because it clears the clutter. And then, like you said, go to the food. But I love how fashion, like you can just take that piece. I love how it adds to everything, and it's like you could really just start to look at your life in certain ways, and certain you would think something so like, oh, because how does that relate to to this or to
Right,
that, but it
right.
really does.
Absolutely.
So I love it, and I just want to go back to your background. Like, how'd you start? Like, I know you've been in the industry, you're an icon, and everything. So just tell us a little bit about your background. Everything.
Well, my grandmother was a dressmaker, and she taught me how to sew. And I started sewing my clothes when I was, about really, really young, and drawing. And it was definitely a gift from God.
Yeah.
And so I knew I wanted to be a fashion designer, and I became a buyer, stylist, doing other jobs. And I started my first business when I was 24. And I had been traveling to Asia and to Hong Kong.
Okay.
Back in the day, it was, still under British rule. So it was a beautiful place. And I had, this Japanese multi-millionaire businessman that backed me, and we sold in 7 different countries.
Wow.
And that was my first business, Pyramid. So I have always been an entrepreneur.
Okay,
Nice.
wonderful.
Always.
Oh wow,
Nice.
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Your own boss.
Very
Always.
inspirational.
Yeah.
Very inspirational.
And I've also always believed in giving back. I think that's really, really important because my first mentor, who trained me to be a buyer, and, he did that, he gave that to me. And so I had that instilled in me that it's
Yes.
really important, to always be, giving your knowledge to other people. And, sharing is caring, right?
It
Yes,
absolutely
absolutely.
is, and it's funny because people don't look at it that way. But when you share, when you give, you're giving back. You're giving back so much more than what you could ever give.
Right.
You're giving so much more. I mean, your case point number 1 right here sitting in front of us. It's just your aura and your vibe is just so positive.
Thank you.
And just reading your background is just like, I'm just so happy that you're here and you're sharing your message because, like I said, it's a new message.
It is.
I feel like it's a new message and
is.
it needs to be talked about.
Right.
Often we'll just talk about, the weight loss. We're talking about this. We're talking about that. But to actually, every aspect of your life can stem from one point. And that
Absolutely.
could very well,
That's your style.
Yes.
And haven't you looked at someone and you just admire them because they look, you don't even know them,
Absolutely.
but they
Right.
look great.
Right.
And you just admire, wow, look at her, look at him. Wow, that person is dressed.
Yes.
And then you're just enamored and you're just mesmerized and you just stare at them like, they're probably like, what are you staring at? But you just love that. Like
Yeah.
a well-dressed man
Right.
Yeah.
or a well-dressed woman.
Right.
There's just
Right.
something
Together.
about them that you can't take your eyes off of them for some reason.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because a part of you is longing for that.
Could be.
I think a big part of it too is when you see somebody like that, they're also very comfortable in their skin. And this is, it's not just about, putting on like, the head to toe designer or, having that like, bag or whatever. Right. But it goes deeper because somebody that is, looking this way, elegant in their style and really connected with it, they also look very comfortable in their own skin.
Right.
And they're owning it. They're
Right.
owning their style.
owning it.
So you're not just, I believe that you're not just looking at that exterior part of them. You're also feeling their inside energy coming out.
Oh, that makes
And,
sense.
that's always a lot more powerful because, we've all met people that look amazing on the outside, like superficially, and then they open their mouth and you're like, eh.
Yeah. You're like, that's true later.
So, there has to be, it's got to be the whole package.
Yeah.
And, I have clients that are, they feel like they're living in somebody else's style, and that can happen. And they want to find what their style is. And they have it. It's just that, you get lost or you think that you don't have it. Some people think that they don't have it, so...
So would it be from something that how do you find that in them? How do you
Right.
help a
How do you break
person
it
find
down?
that? Is it something that they like or what?
Well, I usually, I start with, I do have questionnaires that, I have, people fill out so that, because when you're writing something and you're thinking about it, you're doing the work too. You have to do some of that prep work yourself and
Absolutely.
dig into like, why do I want to do this?
Right.
What results do I want to have? What do I want to change? And, think about, why you want to have that style shift.
Exactly.
So that's the first point. And then, depending on, what the client wants to work on, like let's say it's clothing and, I have them do the, the program Clear Your Clutter first so that they can go through that and do those exercises and really connect and understand. And if I'm doing a one-on-one style intensive with them, then I will go to their closet and actually go through some things with them.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then, help them put things together in different ways. One of my clients, she thought she had to buy a whole new wardrobe, and she actually had everything already there, but she didn't know how to step it up.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And she ended up only really needing to buy 5 things.
Wow. Oh, my goodness.
Saved a lot of money.
That right there.
Wow. See, I love that because some days I'll feel like I have it together. Like, oh, okay. And maybe a week. I can go through a whole week and I'm like, I didn't put together some cute outfits. And the next week I'm like, I have no
nothing.
idea. Like, I need to go start fresh, do something over, and
that
it's
too.
just like, but how do you now talking with you, Saundra, now I'm like, okay, what was my state of mind then when I put everything together? Was I thinking more? Was I in a more calmer space? I'm like, and then the next week, was I just out of control? Wasn't, had stressors going on or whatever.
Maybe we can talk about that when we come back from the break.
Yeah,
and I also want to mention that our lovely guest, Saundra, is giving away so graciously a 45-minute style session by phone. And we're actually going to take the first caller that calls in after the break. After the break, I'll give out the number, and we'll see who that lucky person will be. And we'll go to our break and come back.
I'm going to run to the bathroom and call. Because I want to win it.
You're going to do that. I was like, really? She's giving that away, huh? We'll be right back with Saundra Saulnier.
Did you know that your skin is your body's largest organ? And you should be aware of what you're applying to it. The more natural products you use, the better. The best place to start is with Did It For Love handmade natural body products, made with pure organic ingredients. Our Shea Body Butter Moisturizer is whipped to perfection and hydrates dry, cracked skin and protects from UV rays. Did It For Love Shea Body Butter Moisturizer is infused with essential oils. You can choose from scents like lavender, vanilla and sandalwood, white rose, and many more. Our deodorant has a fresh scent that not only works against odor, but also reduces sweat. With this toxin-free deodorant, you can feel fresh and confident all day long. You can also keep your lips healthy and kissable with our handmade lip balms. In healing and fruity scents like tantalizing peppermint to sensational green apple. Our products promote healthy, youthful-looking skin and is safe for the whole family. Vegan-friendly, cruelty-free, and gentle enough for cancer survivors and those going through treatment. Go to diditforlove.com today. Did It For Love, toxin-free for your whole family.
Welcome back to It's Time to Talk. We are live in Hollywood, California with our wonderful, wonderful guest, Saundra Saulnier. And then you've just seen a video. Basically, we are in a house with greatness. She designed every piece that we saw, you guys, in that video.
I want that white dress.
The white dress is calling my name.
I know, right?
Style shift, for real.
Yeah, style shift for real. Easy care, easy wear, easy buy.
So are those items available?
Not at this moment. It's a concept that is in the works.
Okay.
And to be sold in high-tech interactive vending machines.
In vending machines.
Vending
Yes,
machines.
yes.
Wow. Okay,
It's
that's
the wave of the
different.
future.
What?
Carbon footprint.
Yeah.
No, no tags, no buttons, no zippers. Everything's sold in reusable pochettes.
Pochettes.
You know, with the little zipper, so you can put
Oh
stuff
my
in. and-
goodness, yes.
How many women love those?
I love them because I have little slippers that I put in pochettes.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely, I love it.
That's the
Oh my
French word, the
gosh.
pochette.
Right,
Okay.
right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So vending machine. Now, where would these vending machines be?
That would be in airports, in metros.
Yes.
You know,
They can be in
cruise ships.
amusement parks
Absolutely,
Just any and
anywhere
everywhere.
because you can move them around.
too. Yeah.
You don't see clothes in vending machines.
You don't. And I love it because
Hotels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the style because like when you were saying on your YouTube, it's about being comfortable.
Yes.
but it's stylish too.
Yes.
and so I love because even just having the long sleeves, I love the long sleeves, and then something like kind of it just gives you that comfort, like you're holding it or you could touch it, and then it's light, and especially for us older dolls, I put that way, that go through the change. It's like
Yeah.
you're so hot all the time, and like I cannot do long sleeves. I'm sorry, I don't care what it is, I cannot do long sleeves. And that it looks so airy, comfortable.
Yeah.
Lightweight mesh.
Yes.
And that's exactly one of the reasons
Yeah.
that I work with with that fabric. I love
Yeah.
it
Wow.
because
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh my
we need that. We need to breathe.
we know.
Yes,
to breathe.
we definitely do.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Well, before we went to the break, I mentioned that Saundra is giving out a 45 minutes complimentary style session. So if you want to be the winner, the person that is going to take advantage of this very benevolent gift, give us a call. We're at 323-284-7826. And the first person that gets through, you're the winner. So please give us a call, 323-284-7826.
Call in
Yes.
and win. This is a fabulous prize. You
It
don't want to
is.
miss.
I mean, it's incredible.
Yes.
You mentioned in the first video that we saw something about style shaming. And can we talk about that? Who's doing it and why?
Look at the shows on TV. You know, when they're going through and critiquing what people are wearing on, on the red carpet,
Right.
and look at, in the, the rags, the gossip magazines, who wore it better, and cutting people apart,
Yeah.
Right.
and just this whole comparing
Right.
thing. And I mean, people are cutting other people down.
Yeah.
They are.
That's true.
And making an industry out of it.
Right.
And now with social media, just
Right.
out of
Exactly.
control.
It's
you
out
know,
of control.
Out of
Right.
control. Everyone just, you have to like some little cartoon figure or Jessica Rabbit nowadays, and all these, you got to have this and that and perfect, or else you're nothing. You're no good. You don't look good. You're fat. If you're you have 2 pounds of weight on you. I mean, overweight. It's just ridiculous.
Exactly, and especially with young people living on social media, and that's unfortunately where they're creating their lives. And when you have role models, on TV that are less or not, there could be better role models,
Right.
influencing people.
Right.
So take off
Right.
more clothes, get more likes, kind of thing.
Right.
So I mean, that's that's all part of it, and changing that message, about your style from the inside out.
I want to read someone. We have a friend of mine. Her name is Teresa Woodbury, but her name is, I call her Tess, and she's listening right now. And she just says so true to what we're talking about. But also Nate Palmer says, wouldn't you say it's not the designer that makes the person, it's the person that makes the designer, because we are the people that's buying your clothing and we look good in it because it was your good idea of making it.
I
So-
think that sounds really great. I mean, that's a really great statement. One thing too is that designers are selling the dream.
Yeah.
You know, so when you're, you know, the runway shows are going on right now, and there's, you know, so many different trends happening, and, you know, more and more than, you know, so there's something for everybody. But for me, if you take it as something inspirational to get ideas from, you know, just to get, and you go, oh, I really like that, you know, and, you know, I really like this trend. Maybe, you know, I'll incorporate that into my uniform, you know, that'll be, you know, because it's always fun to buy nice things, have nice things. I mean, that's what they're there for.
Right.
It's just, you know, that why behind the buy. Are you buying it to fill a hole? Are you buying it for something else? Are you buying it because it's going to make your life easier and more fun?
Right.
And so, you know, definitely the media and, you know, it's selling us the dream because it wants us to buy more. And it's very, you know, I always, you know, I get these newsletters like the must-have shoe, the coat that you need. And it's like, oh my goodness, you know, like, yeah, if I don't have that, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
And my life's going to fall apart. And so it's just the way, you know, the marketing and that, you know, what I call a global garbage message that you need this to be better, to be more.
Right. And it goes back to the comparing. You know, you may not look, you know, it was kind of like this whole era where it was like, they were talking about the spandex. Like, spandex is not for everyone, you know, things like that.
You know, that could go on a T-shirt.
Yeah, you know, but seriously, that's what it was. That was huge back you know, years ago. Yeah. And it does make sense, though, you know, because not everybody needs to wear this. I can't walk in stilettos like the next person. You know, I can't, whatever. I'm not going to look good in an asymmetrical dress because, you know, I'm not that big down there. So it's just like, I'm just going to look washed out. You know what I mean? So I love Style Shift because it's about finding what's your personal style, what you like, what looks good on you, and how do you feel in it, you know, and are you going to be confident in it? That's the biggest thing. How confident are you? You know,
absolutely.
So, and it starts within, the inside out.
Always in. Yeah. And you know, the other thing, there was a study that was done at Marks and Spencer's. It's, you know, that huge department store across Europe, and they found that over a woman's lifetime, she spent 6 months deciding what to wear.
Oh, I believe it.
And
some 7 or 8.
Men, 4 months.
Wow.
4 months for men, 6 months for women.
Interesting. Okay.
You know, over your lifetime.
Wow.
So, you know, when you look at people, you know, very successful that have their uniform, like Einstein, for example, he had the same gray suit. And he said the reason he had all of the same thing was so that he didn't have to think about what he was going to wear. And he could focus on
other
his
things.
bigger, you know,
that
what
makes so
he
much
needed
sense.
to do. And you look at Steve Jobs in the black turtleneck. I mean, look at, you know, Coco Chanel. She had her.
Right.
And, you know, when we find that for ourselves, we spend less time, you know, getting ready, having that fight with the closet, and you know, it's we can focus on our bigger purpose.
Exactly.
So you said that wakes me up because I do that a lot, and I sit there and go, I wasted so much time trying to find something to wear, and I think the night before I'm like, I'm always sitting there thinking I should really think about what I'm going to wear tomorrow.
Right.
But then my mood changes so much. I'm like, I wouldn't want to wear that anyway. So I just get up and find something new. But yeah, wasting time.
My thing, sometimes I'll be too sleepy to get up or whatever, and I'll just peek out from the covers and look at the closet, open it like, what's calling me? It's like, April, come, pick me, no, pick me.
But that's good. That's a good way. That's a good way because it's like intuitive.
Yeah.
It's intuitive.
A lot.
Yeah.
And just the other day, I was in the store and I was looking for some shoes. And you know how the clunky heels are in right now?
Yeah.
They're just everywhere, right? And I just cannot wrap my head around that look.
Yeah.
Or my foot, obviously. But the sales girl comes up to me and she's like, I said, you know, I don't know what to get. I know there's a new style. And she says, oh, everyone loves these. Clunky boots, clunky heels. And she said, what's your size? Oh, we have a caller. We have a caller.
Is this a winner?
This is a winner.
Who's calling in?
Hi. I need to put my headset on.
Hi, caller. Who's calling?
Hi, this is Drexy.
Hi, Drexy.
You are the winner
Yes,
of
you're
the
the winner.
45-minute style session with Saundra Saulnier.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. I can't wait. I'm excited.
Drexy, say hi to Saundra.
Hi, Sandra.
Hi.
I'm so excited.
Me
oh,
too.
It's wonderful.
Great.
I'm an old doll, but I find it in my wonderful years that I am now, I'm so selective and so always trying things on, and I thought something was wrong with me because I tried things on and I said, oh, that feels weird, or I don't like the material, or this or that or the other. And then I take it home, I wear it or try to, and then I have to take it back. And I would do that 2 or 3 times until I'm comfortable with a certain outfit.
Well, that's good that you're only keeping what you really love and that you feel comfortable in.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
I have too.
Me
So
too.
we'll definitely connect you. Can you please go on our page and like the page, and we can get in touch with you that way?
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
Thank you so
Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I
You're
look
welcome.
forward to doing the style session with you.
Oh, thank you so much. I'll contact you later today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Great show. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Drexy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
It's a great show.
Awesome.
We got a winner.
Yay, we have a winner.
Yes.
And so what I was saying was about the clunky shoes that she was trying to convince me, she's like, what size? She was really trying to bring all these shoes to me. And I said, you know what? That's just not my style. I honestly said that. That's just not my style. And she said, "Oh." She kind of just walked away, and I left thinking, "No, it's not. There's plenty of other shoes that I'd rather wear."
That's the thing is that there's so many styles and
Yeah.
there's so many options, and that just happens to be one that was, on the runway, and some people like wearing that, and other people like wearing, there needs to be something for everyone. And when you find out what that is for you, then you're not wasting your money. You're saving time, money, energy, and excess.
Right.
And how do you feel about people that may tell someone what looks good on them and what doesn't? Like, who is it up to that person? Like, if I see my sister Deidre here and something, I was like, that maybe doesn't look as good as you think, and maybe she thinks it looks great. Do you recommend people sort of doing that, or does it matter? I guess maybe the place it comes from, if I'm trying to really help her or if I'm trying to hurt her. What do you think about that?
You said it exactly what I was going to say. It's the place where it comes from. And I've always based everything on that, no matter what it is, because, people are coming from their personal experience and their perception. And perception is everything.
That's right.
And we all have a different perception. So if it's somebody that, you love and trust and you know that they have the best interest for you, and you ask them, what do you think? Of course, we need to get feedback. And I think that's really important. But I always look at, who's the messenger? What's the intention?
Yeah, that's
What's
important.
the intention?
That's important.
It's
Yeah.
so huge.
So then at some point, who you can ask,
Exactly.
who not to ask, and who you can trust in that.
Yeah. Always
it's
you always have to have that inner circle of people that, trust, that know that they always have your back.
Right. That's so important. Yeah.
And, other people, as I said, you always take a look at who the messenger is. And, if somebody is offering unsolicited advice that's harmful, you take a look and you see, where's that coming from them?
And how does it make you feel?
And like where are they hurting? There must be, because anybody that is, I always find that anybody that's being unkind to another, it's because that they've got some kind of, turmoil that's going on within themselves. And unfortunately, they have to hurt other people and project it.
Oh, I know, it's so sad. Yeah. And I think especially with like children, the bullying and things like that, and even with them, it's like, what would you say to them being so young, finding their own style? Because, I know they,
what they
they're so young
go through.
They
just
know.
finding their style,
But kids know.
Yeah.
See, this is what I found. I mean, I was very lucky, for myself. I actually, when I was 3, I went around with a black cape and a mask. I was not a princess. Okay. I did not have pink. I saw Zorro on TV. I was like, who's that? Like, my video, I need to be Zorro. And I don't know, I don't even remember, but I mean, I guess my parents knew, but I have photos of myself like in a black mask and a cape in my neighborhood. And so, I truly, truly believe, I mean, little children, like, they're like sponges and they know. And so if if they're able to be themselves from then and they can express that creativity and not be carrying, the beliefs and, all of that of, their parents or, school or other people and carrying those blocks, they have more of a chance of that freedom of, growing
Yes.
into it as they get
Right.
older.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah, and then they can develop their own personality,
Exactly.
their own look. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, that goes for a lot of things, for young children and, teenagers, and that is that, you've got the influence, from schools, what's being taught, and, your peer pressure. And, you can get lost, lose yourself. And this is
Absolutely.
the thing, what's really, really important is, being connected from your inside out, from being very young. If you
Yes.
can have that and following your
Right.
intuition, which is your inner guide and never steers you wrong.
That's
Right.
right.
And if you have that embedded in you, and you carry that strength with you, there's always going to be ups and downs in life.
Right.
There's always going to be things that you go through. But if you've got that inside you, and you can, weather those storms, so to speak.
Absolutely.
Right.
You can always go back to that.
You
Yeah.
can. And, I personally think that's what we all fight against.
Yeah.
We don't center ourselves enough. We're busy bees everywhere, working and working, working. We don't stop and center ourselves and listen to our intuition, listen to where to go next, and listen to what to do. Life can be so easy.
Yeah.
Yes, it can.
It can. It can. It could be a lot easier.
lot
It's
easier.
just going like inside and listening. And really, with the hustle and bustle, I think of life, you have to find that space where you can take that time. Because I think that's the problem. We're just always moving. We're not stopping and thinking. We're not saying, Now, if someone comes to you and requests something from you, you have to stop and think about how is this going to impact my day, my life, my situation, and that takes conscious effort and thinking, and I think most of us are just ready to jump. And jump on the bandwagons. That's the latest shoes. That's the latest purse. I need to rush out and get that. Instead of thinking, do I really need that?
Do you really need that?
So,
Right.
so I think it's just us stopping and more of us being conscious, aware of going within, like your style shift is all about. So.
Absolutely. I mean, there's a difference, is responding or reacting, to any situation.
Yeah. I love it.
Absolutely. Can you give out your social media information, and for those that want to follow you, or those who want their own, probably not complimentary session with Saundra, but give your information out?
Yes, fantastic. My website is style-shift.com, and I have 3 different programs for offer on there. But when I work with people, I also, that's kind of a template. But when you're working with people, you always, want to see what their needs are, and you tailor it to, what they are, requiring in their life. You're never putting something on anybody. It's always working
Right.
together.
Right.
Because one thing about coaching, it's you're helping other people to discover it for themselves. So it's like a guide, and that's what's really important. So everything. My website is my home base. My Instagram page, which right now I'm working on getting it a little bit more interactive, and that is at style style underscore shift. Yeah, style underscore shift. But I'm using I'm going to be really expanding on this. I just finished a large design project in fashion, and I always ask people, what you're doing, is that leading to where you want to go? Where, is that something that, is it taking you away from your goal or, towards your goal?
Right.
And when, for me, with the purpose with Style Shift, I want to put all my energy into that, really, build this, company and global, and have, a great team of people, that can also share their messages as well.
Wonderful.
Love it. Beautiful message.
Beautiful
Love it.
message, and greatly needed.
Yes.
So thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So much. Thank you for being a part of the show. And we just thank you so much for listening to It's Time to Talk. We want to thank our wonderful guest, Saundra Saulnier, and please follow her and give us a follow too. We're
Yes.
on Facebook, It's Time to Talk Show.
Like our page.
Love us. We love you. And we will see you next time.
Remember, your conversation is your affirmation.
Mwah.